Good morning, everyone. Today we'll deal with the topic of fever. Here we will see first what is fever. It's an immune response towards the infectious and the non-infectious agents. So infectious, there will be the bacteria, virus, etc. And bacteria will release the toxins, that is gram-positive and the gram-negative bacteria. For the gram-negative bacteria, it will release endotoxin, and the gram-positive bacteria, it will release exotoxin. So it will act on the body. And then non-infectious, there will be the brain disease, hypothalamic injury to the hypothalamus, or injury to the cellular testicle where hypothalamus is there. And then inflammatory disease will also here, like tumor can also be there, and cancers will be there. So normal body temperature from the 96 to the 98 degree Celsius, because in the morning there will be 1 degree Celsius temperature less, but like in 6 a.m. But in the evening there will be more temperature, like approximately 99 temperature. So above, if the body temperature will increase above 99, then we will call it as a fever. So fever process, how it causes, how the exogenous and the endogenous material leads to the fever. So in exogenous, there is a infectious microbes like bacteria will produce the toxins, and it will work on the blood systems. Like it will go into the bloods, and then through the blood it will go into the in the brain hypothalamus. It will release prostaglandin E2, and then prostaglandin E2 there it works as a consumption of the heat, like conservation of the heat, and then generating the temperature. In conservation of the heat, there will be the vasoconstriction. In the thermogenesis procedure, what will be the procedure? What can you guess about it? So, in the thermogenesis, our body will increase the metabolic process that leads to the increase in body temperature. We can see it here. Okay, metabolic process will increase. Sometimes shivering will also be there. And then behavior in covering and the sweater. So two process generation of the temperature, and second one is conservation of heat by vasoconstriction. So what is the procedure? Like it from the exogenous I have completed, but there is a direct process in which first it will, from the blood it will go into to the hypothalamus and increase in the prostaglandin E2. Hypothalamus will smell it, and then they will cause conservation and increase in the thermogenesis. And then second procedure is by the exogenous, is it will cause the increase in stimulate the macrophages and the neutrophils and lymphocytes. And the macrophages, neutrophil, lymphocytes, it will stimulate the cytokines to come into the picture. And mainly cytokines are the interleukin 1, interleukin 6, and the tumor necrotic factor. And the last one is interferon. So the most important one is interleukin 1 and the tumor necrotic factor. And endogenous, so by the tissue injury, hypoxia, necrosis, and it will also lead to the increase in the stimulate the macrophages, neutrophil, and lymphocyte to come into the pictures. And then it will cause the increase of the release of the cytokines, and then cytokines will go into the blood system, and from the by the blood it will go into the hypothalamus, and hypothalamus will smell the prostaglandin E2, and that will cause the conservation of the heat and conservation of the energy, heat, and thermogenesis. So sometimes what is happening here is in the endogenous processes, cytokines can also cause the increase in the PGE2 in the peripheral organs in the endogenesis. Cytokines can also cause peripheral PGE2 secretion. Okay. So now go to the next page, and here is the graph. It is graph. So some of the medicines is also there for the fever, like paracetamol, but I think the best medicine will be the aspirin, because it will work on two of the system, that is the PGE2 in the central level and also the PGE2 in the peripheral level. And second one is the paracetamol, which will work only on the peripheral. Sorry, it will work only on the central PGE2, not on the peripheral. And corticosteroid, it will also work on the PGE2, and then second one is the corticosteroid cytokines. It will work on the cytokines and also PGE2. So this is the graph in which first the temperature will increase in the fever, like 37. Here we can see 37 to 40. So minus like 4 degrees Celsius during the fever condition. But it will decreases when we took in medicine. Okay, like after the temperature decreases, there will be the sweating. Then we'll check our normal body temperature from the oral, rectal, and the axillary. And in the oral, there will be the 37 degrees Celsius, 98.6 degrees Celsius. In the rectal, there will be the 98.6 degree Fahrenheit, and rectal, there will be the 99 degree Fahrenheit, and in the axillary, there will be 97 degree Fahrenheit. And NTR means normal thermoregulatory temperature, which will be maintained by the hypothalamus when the body temperature increases due to the bacteriemia. And then intermittent, remittent, and there are three types of fever: intermittent, remittent, and the continuous fever. In the intermittent fever, there will be the temperature spikes of the temperature occur, but in a regular intervals, like in the malarial fever. And in the remittent fever, there will be the increase in the temperature, the temperature will not reach the normal body temperature during the course of the fever, and there will be only 1 degree Celsius, more than 1 degree Celsius increase in the more than 1 degree Celsius increase in the in like like we can see from the graph. Here's the graph for the remittent fever. It will go like this. Okay. And for the continuous fever, it will go like this. So in the intermittent fever, if less than 1 degree temperature gap is there, if less than 1 degree temperature gap is there, like it is more than 1 degree temperature gap for the remittent fever. If less than 1 degree temperature gap is there, then it will be the continuous fever. Okay. And relapsing type of the fever, that is the Hodgkin's, that will occur in the Hodgkin's lymphoma, in which what is going to happen, like 7 days there will be the fever, like a 1 week, and then other week there will be no fever. Then rise of the temperature, 1 degree, if 1 degree rise of the temperature, that will leads to the increase in the heart rate or pulse rate up to 10 times, like 10 times, not like 10 times. 10 heartbeat will increase or 10 pulse rate will increase, and then 5 respiratory rate will increase, and 7% metabolism will increase, which is also known as sphygmothermic association. And one exception is also there, like which is also known as sphygmothermic dissociation, which occur in the typhoid fever and is also in the brucellosis.